Hello out there, welcome. Just flipping some random bits before utter chaos ensues. All right. Think we are good. Waiting for the automation stuff to kick in here. We're gonna continue on what we were looking at last night. If you were here last night, I started looking at some R package metadata in hopes of finding some fun trivia questions for a future conference that's coming up in less than 2 weeks from now. Time flies. I'm trying to liven up the social stuff.
Irisi rated my stream with 16
Hello.
views.
Everybody, hello Jesse, hello Raiders, welcome. Hopefully I've solved all the audio snafus that occurred earlier. Oh, thank you Ron Dune for the follow, much appreciated. Hey Waylon Walker, I'm glad to see you again. Hi Isomore, welcome. We're gonna bring in the chat here. Now I know there's at least one. Okay, thanks, Daniel. Always great to have the confirmation. There were shenanigans last night. Crazy, crazy OBS shenanigans. There's one person in particular I think is very curious on a certain reward that I've set up. I think it's wired up. So if you look at my Twitch rewards, there's a new one there. And has to do with me telling stuff, I guess. If I'm trying to be, not trying to be secretive here, but I want somebody to find it. Because if you redeem that, there's going to be it's going to be an event for that. So I'll just kind of hold standby for that. I have
ready for story time with
our podcast,
baby.
I really hope you all heard that. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, yes, it worked. It worked. I don't want to say how many hours I spent on that, but it was worth it. Oh, I'm easily amused. Remember, Jesse, when you did that fun little sports intros, I told you gave me an idea, and I followed through with it because I know how to extract sound clips from Twitch with nefarious means. So okay, that's awesome. I feel better now. I'm gonna add more stuff like that because my friends from the Linux streaming community have hooked me up with a cool service that is free. Actually, it's kind of like Stream Alerts, but it lets you control OBS remotely. Yeah, you heard me right. It lets you control OBS remotely, so you can trigger these fun little scenes that I just had made there. So yeah, that was worth it. Okay, so I guess we gotta do actual work here now, do we? So what I was saying before I think most of you joined is that last night I started exploring metadata associated with the entire library of packages that are on CRAN, because I want to build some fun trivia questions about this for the upcoming Pharma conference. And I hope I can find some cool things to do during the breaks at that conference so that we kind of liven things up. We know it's virtual like it was last year, so we want to try to brighten up the mood a little bit. So I figured I'll give some people some fun things to do during the break. So okay, enough talk. Let's get into it. Bring in my magical third monitor that's not really a monitor, and bring in our studio right here. Resize. So I told some of you in watching other streams earlier today, but I tried processing the entire set of my local CRAN mirror with some additional processing today, and I promptly crashed my entire system and had to hard reset it back. I was a little nervous for it because it was chugging away. So now I finally got it back to normal, and I've cached summary statistics now for all 17,000 packages, basically. A little more than that, to be honest. So we're going to start looking at that data set and figuring out, can I build some fun questions about it, just kind of mine the data a little bit. And if we do get time, I want to start building the app that would show these questions in a Shiny app, of course. Who knows if we'll get there tonight, so it's going to be pretty low key. I'm just going to do some data munging, much like what Jesse and others have been doing with the Pumpkin data set this week. Now I'm just looking at CRAN data. So let me see what happened in the chat here. Well, the clever one, welcome. He wonders if I can get my Akai Beat Pad to function as a stream deck. You'd be surprised what you can do with OBS and tying it with some hardware. I bet there would be a way. With what I'm doing right now, my stream deck is tied to a Python program that connects the buttons to OBS via WebSockets. So it's doable. You can also do some bash scripting on top of that with the button event. So there's lots of cool stuff you can do. Okay, let's start building, shall we? So I'm going to do an R Markdown document this time, just to catalog my notes for it. So I literally just launched it right before hitting the on button here, so it's got all the template language. But what we want to do is we want to source the data file I literally just cached about 20 minutes ago. So it's an RDS file. What did I call it? Called a DF3 because I'm so creative tonight. It's actually not that bad. It's about 4 megabytes because I took out the cruft that we didn't need after I got the first import that we did last night. So that reduced it quite a bit. But let's go ahead and get this going here. Oh, that's not good. I thought I fixed that. That's odd. That's very odd. Now, I actually... Okay, now, oh, that's not good. If that got corrupted somehow, then we're in a little trouble here. Yeah, df is a density function. You're right. Now I'm curious why the heck that didn't work. Let me look at my files here real quick. It didn't look corrupted when I saved it, but let's try loading it this way. Nope. Okay. Well, back to my Explore script. Oh gosh almighty. Oh. I did save and not save RDS. That would do it. Okay. So save, for those that aren't aware, is just a function to save our objects in a general format. And it's actually supposed to be an R data file. So that's what happened. I goofed in how I saved it. So this should be load. We're just abusing this a little bit, but it's not really an RDS after all. Yeah, now we got it. Okay. I'll fix that later. Okay, here's DF. So we're gonna start taking a look at this a little bit. Doing a little chunk here. Get this little title. Explore package metrics data. And then we're just gonna let's see what it looks like when we do this. So okay, so this is actually a very wide format data set. In fact, we'll even look at the glimpse of it in here. And the author, I'll show the website for it in a little bit. They decided to make all the metrics in wide format, which is fine, of course. We just got to hunt for certain things, and they do have kind of a mini data dictionary on the GitHub repo to talk about all this. So a lot of these first metrics are having to do with the files in the packages themselves. And oh, Nick! Oh wow! Okay, 2 raids in one shot. Thank you, Nick. I much appreciated. We're exploring CRAN metadata, basically the set of R packages that are available to the whole community. We're exploring metrics around the packages as I start to get to know some, possibly develop some trivia questions for a future conference to kind of liven things up a bit. But I got to know what the data is so that I can start figuring out some cool questions to work on. So thanks, welcome. If you haven't been here before, I am a statistician by day and an R enthusiast by night, and I like to learn out loud via streaming and podcasting and all that fun stuff with using R for all the data and app development needs that I can muster. So, yep, feel free to ask questions anytime. This is a very welcoming place. I love hanging out with all of you. It's very chill tonight. We're just going to look at some data and maybe do some app development. depending on how far we get. The first step is actually getting to know what data we have. So maybe we'll go to the website first. Kind of take a look at their README. So the package is called pkgstats. And this is at a high level what statistics they munge here. Let's see. Oh, let me ask some questions. Okay. I want to catch up. West Buddha asks, do you ever use .qs files? I have not, but I've heard great things about it. And I know my colleague at work, Will, has used QS files in the past for his development of Drake and targets. I think they are a pretty performant format. I just haven't done much with it personally. But I think it tries to be another binary type form. I do hear lots of good things about the Apache Arrow format or Feather data format as well. I haven't had a chance to play with it myself yet, but I think those are pretty good options as well. You have to have a pretty large data set, but you still want to keep it in a nice, clean binary form. Okay, so at the high level, the stats in this massive data set, we have number of lines of code, documentation, and white space in each directory and language that the package has. The metadata from the description file. All objects created via package code. That's interesting. And then kind of a network of all the calls in each function. And then the calls from functions to other packages. So we got lots to choose from here. And I want to do things that maybe are going to be some obvious answers and maybe some that will be pretty tricky to solve. So okay, we're going to start looking at the rest of this. I'm going to skip through the demo part. Okay, so this is where we have a first section here. We could do some fun stuff with like what package in the tidyverse has the most number of lines. We could do something like that. We could also do, oh, they have some about nested expressions. We might have fun with that. Or the number of documentation or comment lines. Could do stuff with that. Okay, so nested expressions are counted as a number of brackets of any nested type in a single line. Okay, so something like this, where they put all the syntax in one line, this has 4. Whereas if you break it up, then that's going to be, each line is going to have maybe 1 bracket or 1 parenthesis, which might be better for readability. I guess it's a preference thing, but that could definitely work too. Then package summary is going to give us some stuff about the description and package version. Okay, this would be cool. Number of vignettes, number of data files, total size of package data if it has it, number of files. So yeah, we can start doing some fun trivia about that. Total lines of code in each subdirectory. Oh, that's cool. Total number of comment lines. White space maybe a little too much. Stats on individual objects. Number of exported and non-exported R functions. Ooh, that could be fun. That could be fun to look at. In other languages. Okay, this is, yeah, there's some good stuff here. So maybe what I'll do now, in light of this, I'm going to start jotting down some potential questions that we could look at and figure out a way of quantifying that information. Okay. So where were we? Okay, we're going to start putting the questions in here. Let's try the visual markdown editor. Let's see, make sure this works. Yep. All right, got our visual markdown editor. I love this. Okay. So, there are some possible questions we could build our trivia questions around. Okay, so I'm going to start kind of thinking some randomish things, but this is your chance in chat. If you think there's some fun questions we could ask about this data, don't hesitate to type it in here, and I'll definitely be taking notes about it. So I'm going to start with which package in the Tidyverse has the most lines of our code. That could be one. Since I'll be doing a lot of shiny stuff at the conference, I got to do some shiny stuff in here. Let me think. Let me look at some of the stats again. We could say which. Maybe it's not about shiny itself, but which of the following packages and what I'll call in the shiny ecosystem have the most functions. We could do something like that. And then if we knew, thinking, could we do something about the packages that are serving data sets? I wonder if we could do something with that. Or we could do, I mean, a lot of these are going to be kind of random at first, and I'll probably fine tune it later, but how many are packages on CRAN serve data sets? I don't know, that's probably too boring, but I want to just kind of brainstorm here. Number of if statements. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, we could do that for we could maybe give them multiple choice of like 4 packages and say which of the following packages has the most if statements. Yeah, we could maybe do something like that. Now that I have this pipeline working for the latest version of packages that I scraped, I can do the similar thing for the archived like versions as well, based on the version of R. I've always been kind of curious as packages grow from like initial version to their latest, what's that evolution look like? So I don't know if I can articulate that, but that's something I'd like to think about. But yeah, I don't know how to really. Ooh, Tan nails it. Okay, let me type that in. What package other than tidyverse has the most recursive dependencies? Yeah, we should be able to get to that from this data. If not, like you were saying last night, we could look at MetaCran as well. Oh, Daniel's got a good one here. How many libraries does Tidy Models import? Yeah, that'd be good. Let's see. Let's look at our data set again. I may actually find a different way to view it. Hold on. Let me put my mouse back. Actually, let's see if the viewer. Yeah, the viewer's not too bad. It's a little large, but we can. Yeah, it's not quite conducive to viewing this. That's a cool one, Unicorn Coder. How many deprecated color packages? Oh, that'd be interesting. We'd have to do some fuzzy text searching for any package that looks like it has to do with color in its description, but that could certainly be done. Packages need to support run the app. Okay. So does that include dependencies with specific Buddha? I think what you mean, if you mean one of the earlier questions, when we say import, it is kind of like saying dependencies. Not many packages anymore have specific packages in the depends field, but we would count that, of course, if it was doing that as well. Let's see, whatever cool stuff could we do? I remember one of my fellow R Weekly curators, Jonathan Carroll, was doing some meta-analysis about package vignettes. I do want to do something about that. We could just have real fun with this. How many vignettes are included available across CRAN? Yeah, we could have fun with that. Looking back at some of the code that we could look at. Ooh, that's a good one, Unicorn Coder. Yeah, we were looking at this a little last night as well. How many packages still remain from, yeah, was it 0.16 or was it may have been a little later in that in my data set. In that file listing, I can bring that up. Let me pull up my my folder and I'll take a look at that. Okay, let me bring that down. So for those that weren't here last night, I've made my own local CRAN mirror in anticipation of this. So I put that on my network attached storage because I had the hard drive space and I figured I'd use it. I put it here. It's in source, contrib, and I think we went back to 1.4. So at least with the data I have, so we can modify the question a little bit and say from our 1.4. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, Wiki says that, Unicorn Coder, but for whatever reason, when I pulled down the CRAN mirror, it didn't go that far in time. It went only up to here. So I think before 1.4, they didn't have CRAN as we know it today. So that probably is the reason why, yeah. Oh, I love this. You all are helping me so much. This is like literally making my day because I've been kind of worried about this for a little bit. Tan has a great question. What package has the most versions published on CRAN? Yes, it's a great one. And then Daniel has other than R and C++. And is the most compiled language that R wraps around. Yeah, we should be able to get that information. And then Isomor, the great one, which author has published the most packages? I think I know the answer to that because of some Twitter threads from a while back. It's not who you think. Let's put it that way. Which, yeah, has the longest or shortest name. Yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, right, Tan. It's not Hallie. That's why I said that. I can just say it since it's just us. It's actually. Is it Thomas? I don't know if it's for CRAN though. I'm talking about for CRAN. I think it is Scott Chamberlain from rOpenSic. I'm pretty sure I saw that statistic somewhere. But your own is a good guess too. I'm not sure Thomas has a lot of the his packages on CRAN though. So but I could be wrong. Yeah, Scott, he does so much stuff for rOpenSic. I think it's both surprising and not surprising, I guess. But yeah, he's brilliant at what he does. Ooh, Daniel with another one. What proportion of packages use. So I think you mean, oh, you mean use a period instead of ham. Okay, so okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah, using a dot in the name. Yeah, I got it. Yep. But yeah, I know what you mean. I'm gonna work. I'll clean all this up in a little bit. But yeah, this is great. Yeah, you guys are rocking it tonight. Even with this, look how many we have. Even if we prune this a little bit, we got at least like 15, maybe almost 20 questions here. So we got a lot to go with here. And what I'm thinking is some of these I'll do multiple choice. Some of these I will just leave like no hints at an answer. And in some, I hope I can like show some visuals or show a preview of metrics and have them like guess where it comes from. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you guys both have, or you, everybody, have good ones here. Westpacita Buddha says, how many packages use a capital R other than as the first letter? Yeah, that's a nice one. And then, Dan has, which package has the most R's in its name? Yep, good stuff, What's the funniest string manipulation for a package name? Yeah, that could go a lot of different ways. Yeah, it's a little subjective, but I'm sure that if people got their hands on this data set, they would like to do some fun stuff with it. Okay, so this is a lot that we can play with here. What I may do now is feel free to keep the questions coming. I'll write them down as they come, but I want to start writing up some code to address some of these so that I can come prepared for the answers. Oh, interesting question, Daniel. How many packages have function names that namespace themselves, i.e. stringer as str underscore functions the namespace? That will be a more difficult one to answer with the data we have, but I'll jot it down anyway. Stringer as str functions to namespace. Yeah, okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm like I said, that's an iffy one, but well, so Daniel, I think one thing about this data set, it doesn't actually give me the functions themselves. It just counts function stuff, I'm pretty sure. But we'll look at the data in a little bit. And has what package has the most contributors? Very good. Yeah, that should be doable from the data. Okay. We could do yeah, package count by version. Do you mean version of the package itself or the version of R? Yeah, we could do some. I think we could. Not sure what we could do with a question around that, but that's certainly some data we could look at for fun. Ooh, yeah, I don't think this data is going to give me this, Daniel, but it's a good question. How many people have single line commits or contributions? So this is just from CRAN. It has nothing to do with the version control repositories that the packages could be built off of. So there won't be any like Git metadata or anything like that. But yeah, maybe if someone else will have a data set in the future that can do that. Ooh, good one from Isomore. Shortest number of lines in a package. Okay. Yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, which package has. in essence, it's kind of quantifying what's the smallest package in terms of code base. Number of lines. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Daniel. We obviously documentation is both every CRAN package must have functions document, but what you might be thinking there is that not every function is documented because there are some that are internal, but then the ones that are external need to be documented. So it could be still we look at what package has the most external functions documented. But I'll jot these down. Which package has the most amount of documentation? Or we could look at document code ratio. Interesting. I'll have to see how to calculate that, but I love the intuitiveness of it. Yes, so Isomor, there is data in this set about the languages each package uses. So, oh, you mean, oh, I'm sorry. I took language in a different sense. You mean the actual, like, dialects. That would be interesting. I never thought about that. Packages on CRAN that are actually written in a different, like, dialect or written language. I'll have to think about that. Let's see if packages are in different. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is cool. I love this, Daniel. Yeah. Which function has the most amount of lines? And what package is it from? Okay. Could be. Could be. Okay. Good grief, we got a big list here, don't we? This may be a good start, but anyway, keep putting them in the chat. I think I'm going to start mining this data a little bit and see what we can do. All right. Yeah, complexity is something we'll look at as well. Okay, I'm going to turn off the visual editor. How do I do that? Where's the... Oh, it's this one here. Yep, okay. Back to this. So, Isomor, yeah, good question. What do I actually want to do with this information in terms of Shiny? For the purposes of this conference, it's not going to be so much an app that I expect... Well... I could either do it as just a display where it shows the question for like a certain amount of time and then it shows the answer after like maybe 30 seconds or so. I don't know. Or if I really want to get fancy with it, I could have them visit the app. Now this is going to be about 1,000 people potentially at on this virtual conference. So this would be the first time I would have made something that could potentially be visited by so many people at once. Because my humble little Shiny Cow app never has that many people looking at it at once. So yeah, the LearnR approach might be interesting here. I wanted to kind of make it look fun too. Yeah, LearnR is great. We talked about that with Bearish Slurkey from the Shiny team. Was that an interview over a year ago? Let me look it up. I'm getting older now, folks, so I don't even remember when I talk to certain people. But we talked about LearnR. Which episode was that? Yeah, we're going way back now. There it is. It was, it is about a year ago. October 3rd, 2020. Yeah, that was our third of the 3-part series with Barrett. And we talked a lot about LearnR. He populated all these show notes for me. He was always very thorough. the primers use it. It's even got some interesting back-end things like the sortable widget that's involved with it. Yeah, there's cool stuff there. This website needs a massive refresh. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I haven't had a chance yet. But that's coming later. Okay. Let me look at what Daniel has. Of all the package maintainers, what are the top 10 email domains? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, we could do something like that. Package maintainers. What are the top 10 email domains? Okay, cool. Yeah, probably our studio. That's a good guess, although I don't know. That maybe the data will tell us. Maybe we should start diving into this then. Now I want to make this a little easier to review instead of just in the R Markdown file. So for that, I want to install another package to view the data. Our trusty friend DT. Let's throw this in. Alright. Because I want to kind of look at it in an easier way. Alright, let's see. Now this may not work. The reason it might not work like this, let me look at the data set again. We do have some list columns here. At least I thought I did. Maybe I took them out. Hold on, let me see. No, I took them out. Okay, we're good. So this should work. Yep. Yahoo. Yeah, Yahoo was my first like email, like actual email account that was external. And you'll never guess what inspired me for the handle of it. I think most of you know I'm a pro wrestling fan. So this was right before I started going to college. I got one of these. And this is back when most of you know him as Dwayne Johnson, but he was called The Rock in the wrestling days. I took... It's still going. Yeah. There's a funny story about that. But I put... I think it was called The Rock _888 because 8's my favorite number. I used that for many, many years before I got my Gmail account. Yeah, he was he's still obviously pretty successful, if you one way to say it. Okay. Oh. Okay, that might be a problem. The data's large. This is about 18,000 rows or 17,000 rows. Okay. Let me see about the server-side processing. Let me look that up. Where do I do the server stuff? Or does that have to be in Shiny when you do server-side? Oh, let's pull up the site. Actually, that error message gave me the link to somewhere. Yeah, let's pull up this link. E-Way always does a good job with documentation. Oh, it's a Shiny example, so okay, it's okay, so it's only in Shiny that you can do this in. Okay. Well, okay, alright. Well, silly me, I guess the easy way around this, let's make ourselves a quick little app to do it. Oh, I don't have Shiny in here, do I? Okay, let's throw that in, of course. Look how fast that is. no pack for that. I was saying in TanStream that pack at my works environment fails with some cryptic error about a package dependency, even though I've installed all of them to be up to date, just like what I did in the stream a couple weeks ago with RM. So it's always happens, like little esoteric differences between my personal environment and my work environment for our computation that sometimes bite you out a little bit. All right, well, let's get a new app here, shall we? Just to explore. No, not a new script. What I don't like about the way it does it in our studio is it'll make a separate folder for it, which I don't like. I just want it at the root of the repo. So I'm gonna have to move it out. I'll do the terminal for that. All right. It's gonna be a very basic app. We don't need any of this. Literally just doing this for the DT viewer server side. Our fluid row here. Whoops. Always prefix this one. Always, always. That's a bad name for it. Okay. And then server side. Oh. Under. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Someday I should make like a snippet in our studio that just very quickly does it. Okay, we're gonna have to load the packages that I had up here. And load the data frame. So this is gonna be DF3. Actually, since it's just DF3, I don't need the squigglies this time. And this had a server argument, I believe. Server equal true. Yep. All right. Now we'll take a look at this. All right, that's much better. That's much better. Okay, I saw some points here that I missed. So Daniel says the complexity type of my question was cyclomatic complexity. Woo, fancy term. Okay. Let me hold on here. I'm gonna stop this app for a second. I need to change the it's running the viewer pane instead. Okay, let me jot that note somewhere here. Complexity. Yep. Oh yeah, how many packages import Shiny? Yeah, that's. I've always wondered about that too. I always look at the Shiny page and just on CRAN and I kind of guess it, but it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And then by proxy, Isomor is saying how many packages import. So basically this is Magrider, but yeah, we could. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. All right, let's run this app in the viewer window. That way I can keep in the same place. View things. Okay. So let's start looking at this a little bit. Oh, it's extremely wide. So we have the files or vignettes. That's the easy one to look at for how many vignettes there are in a package. You need to refresh your memory what the lock syntax columns are. We have blank lines, blank line vignettes, blank line source, comment lines, relative space. I'm not probably going to do much with that. Okay, num vignettes are here. Okay, good. Num demos, num data files. Oh, lines of code. You're right, Isomor. I read that earlier and I spaced out because I was thinking location for some odd reason. Okay, so we had some things about the package maintainers. Let's see if that's in here anywhere. All the ones with DESC in the prefix are from the description file, I believe. And contributors and authors and FND and REV. I think that's like reverse dependencies. I'll have to think about that a little bit. Okay, so we have the depends, the imports, and suggest. Okay, as separate fields, so we can mine that. Then we have number of functions, number of exported, number of non-exported. And function source. Lines of code for... I'm not sure what function RMN or MD means, so I'll have to look at that a bit. Okay, we got the languages here, so some of these are in C++. Ooh, doc lines per function EXPMN. Is MN for manual? I don't know. Or is that mean and median? That might be mean and median. Okay, yeah, okay. Doc lines per function. Not sure what the EXP means. And then this is more about the network of packages. Centrality. So external calls is something I'm going to process later on. I tried it before this stream started and I had a couple errors there. But okay, let's try the quick ones first. To start building a little bit here. So I'm going to get back to my all panes here. Yeah, no, well, the authors, where the authors were, I'll show that again. It was split up into three separate columns. Let me find that real quick. Where is the DESC stuff? That was... Oh, I skipped it. That's one thing about the wide format. If you are too greedy, you might miss it. Yeah, we have the number of authors, number of contributors, and FND. I don't know what FND stands for, but... Oh, right, you're right. We don't have the authors. We had the packages. Oh. Huh. Well, that's not good. I was hoping we would have the authors here. So that's probably going to put a damper on that information. Yeah, it's kind of odd they didn't put that in. We just have the number of them, not who they are. But I shouldn't complain too much. Someone else made this package, right? I'm just using it. Okay, well, anyway, that's good to know. Let's start going back. Okay, I'm gonna start picking one of these that was kind of easier to look at. Now this is a basic one. I'm just going to pick this one first because this is something we should be able to grep pretty easily. Okay. So we're going to exploring for answers, and I'll put in the first question here. How many libraries does the tiny models import? So let's try answering that. So let's just start subsetting here. And I think, let me stop this for a second. What in the world did I just do there? Why is that tractor-based network? Was that from an older thing? Yeah, that was when I crashed the server last night or earlier today. I'm just, what's it called? Package, just package, okay. Package. So that should give us something. Let's see. Yep, we got tidy models. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, it says for our pharma, how many contributors have email domains from a pharma company? Or we could just look at the conference. Yeah, that's the thing. If I don't have that in this data set, it's going to be hard to tell, but I wonder if CRAN would help with that. But package called package search that might help fill in some of the gaps. Yeah, that's a good tip. Let's look that up. Package search and query our package. Oh yeah, I've heard about it. Oh, guess who writes it? This has been kind of a joke that I had with Daniel earlier when we were talking about the prompt that came up at the Tom Mock's webinar this morning. Is Tom was showing this really fancy prompt in his R console, and sure enough, Gabor has made a package called prompt that lets you customize it. So now he's the author of this too. So they are using... Oh yeah, he's using CRAN. He's the one that made CRAN, isn't he? Oh, silly me. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay, let me throw in pkg search in my environment here. Alright. Install. Okay, now one thing that I'm a little worried about is I know Gabor exposes API endpoints for his service, or at least he used to. How many packages are there on bioconductor? Yeah. Oh, I thought about that. Unfortunately, this package does not help with that one. Well, that's cool. We can get the package history. I want to do something where I don't destroy his server for this. But there's lots of cool things we can do for search. Okay, that's neat. Let me see what else is in our hub here. PKG search. Oh, it's just PKG search. It used to have a website about the API for the RHub web services, unless they've changed the name of it. Let's see. RHub front end. I don't want RHub. I was hoping for the other stuff. And it's older. He hasn't updated it in a while from what I can tell. It's CRAN logs. That's not really what I want here. There's not many others we should have. Database of our CRAN R packages. Oh, that would have been helpful to remember before I started this. Oh no, I am using the new version of it, package search. Or no, I'm not. That's a different thing. Okay. Our package query CRAN reverse dependencies. Oh, that's 5 years ago. Okay. Well, anyway, let's get out of this rabbit hole a little bit. Go back to where I was doing. I'll keep an eye on this, but what I want to do now is answer this question first. So there were fields. It was what was it prefixed with? Num. Yeah, what had the imports in? Okay, imports. Let's just see. Is this gonna give me what I want? Oh, okay, so it's the list of it. Okay, so I remember they had a column that quantified it, I thought. Let me see where it is. And I guess I can split it up, but I could have sworn they did that. Is it DSC? Yeah, let me boot up the app again, just to refresh my memory here. Okay, I know I saw that somewhere here. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe it just did this. Okay, so I guess we'll have to split it up then. So technically we would have to check for depends, although it's probably missing in this case. And then we just simply count the number that are in the imports field. And we can do that for every package if we want. That's an easy transformation. Okay, let's do that. Let's go back. We'll try it on this first, and if it works, we'll just do it on the whole thing. All right. So I've always, the way I do it in the past is that I'll just split all these by the comma and then count how many are in the list that was split. Is there a handy function in string R that just does this right off the bat? Just kind of curious. str count. Well, that's count number of matches. Well, I was asking Tan if I know I'm gonna split by like, oh yeah, okay, so if I'm gonna split by the comma to get that, to count the number of words in that list or that character vector of imports, is there an easy way where I don't really care about the split themselves, I just care about how many times it was split? But I think str detect, yeah, I count the commas, that's basically what I'm doing. I guess we can try that. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I think I see where you're going with that. And then that's +1. Yeah, let's see what happens. $21. Okay, let's verify that. How are name suffixes captured? Well, this is just the names of the packages that it imports right now. Well, okay, this isn't for names of people. This is just names of packages, so that's a different thing. We don't have the names of the authors for some silly reason, so that's where I'm just going to do a quick check on this. Oh, I didn't save this anything. Save that. So imports. This is res. Imports. Let's just see what we get here. So 21. It's 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Yeah, the math works. Okay. Cool. All right. So that handles that question. We can do this for every package, honestly. But we should do it for the n depends as well, because some of these will have depends. No, I got away with it by just doing the comma in the as the string to search for. Maybe I should have done punctuation, but because this list that comes back, the imports field itself just has them separated by comma. So actually we're okay. Maybe you were talking about what Daniel was doing for the name splitting. Okay, so all right, so just gonna do and this would be the same idea. Probably write a function to do this afterwards, but we'll just make sure this works for the 0 case. Oh, wait a minute. No, that doesn't work. That if it's, well, no, it shouldn't have entered that. Is that NA? That depends is NA. That's bizarre. Let me look at the glimpse of this. I feel like my if statement didn't work. Oh, it's a character NA. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. It's got to be some function that converts that on the spot, but I guess I'll have to. I'll just be lazy for now. Okay, that should fix that. Yeah, now it's NA. Okay, that's good. Frankly, I could just do 0 for that. That's really what it means. That way it's numeric, just like the other ones. Oh no, what am I doing? I did the wrong one. Should be here. Okay, there we go. Yep, I'm going to do the same thing for imports. You're exactly right. So that's why I should probably make a function to do this when I get this in more robust shape. Yeah, let's see about that. Should still work. Yep, and depends on imports. So now we will derive the number of depends or imports in package. Okay, so now we're just gonna not do our select here, we're just gonna do both of these here. Make sure this works. That was super fast. Okay. So let's look at yep, just do a quick scan of this. There's a lot of data here. So, okay, so we've got, looks like everything's working here. And then we're going to add a total to this. What should I call the total? I'm not sure. But we'll set another mutate call. Oops. And imports, okay, so that's our easy win for these. Yep, so the math checks out. Okay, so that will also help us with trivia questions about like which package has the most dependencies. In fact, let's explore that now. What package in dplyr lets you, what function in dplyr lets you subset based on like the rank of something? I always forget. I know it's like one of those window like functions, or is it top something? Top n? Is that it? Okay, top n by value, okay. Oh, they want us to use slice now? Oh, okay. Yeah, I do slice a lot in the past. Oh, slice max. You're right. Good call. So I'm gonna slice max of dependency total. Hopefully it works this way. Not sure why I have 2 rows of it, but we've got Surat, 48 dependencies. Ooh, goodness gracious. Okay. Don't know what that package is, but that answers that question. And then, yeah, if you're, well, So if you are attending that, it sounds like you are Wispacita Buddha. I may change things up a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. It's rare that people involved in that side of my my work life, even though you're definitely not in my company, but you are getting the hint. Maybe you'll get a special prize for it. Who knows? So now to answer the Tinyverse question, what we can do is let's do what we were doing before. And then we'll select these. It is 21. Okay, so we did answer it before, but that's just saying how we would do this. Okay. Okay, so we know how to derive that kind of metric. About how many libraries does a specific package import, as well as which ones have like the most. Okay, Isomore's on it. Surat is an R toolkit for single-cell genomics, developed and maintained by the Satija lab at NYGC. The more you know. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Now let's try a slightly harder one in complexity. Which package in the tidyverse has the most lines of R code? Now, to dynamically know what the tidyverse set of packages are from this data set, we first have to filter for the package tidyverse, and then look what we just kind of did. We look at the imports, I believe, or as it suggests. I guess we'll find out. And then we'll be able to answer that one. Let me just make this a heading so it's easier for me to search. Get rid of this stuff. Okay. So we got our DF3 that has this dependency stuff sorted out, so I think I'm just gonna insert a new chunk here. One, grab all Tinyverse packages. Okay, so let's see if my dplyr munging does the trick here. Filter package default Tinyverse package imports depends suggests I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that horribly wrong. If any of them watch this, then they're either really bored, or that's or I'm much more famous than I thought. That'd be funny. Okay, so let's just do this first. So what tidy package looks like. Imports, I think imports has it. Suggests are more for the development of it. Okay, so depends is nothing, but imports is what we want. This was just as I suspected. We're gonna pull imports, and then we're going to split this up. This will give me a list object, so I think I can just do this in one shot. Oh no, I can't do that. I always get greedy there. Well, we have to do this trick. Okay. Yep. Okay. Notice it has white space though, so we're gonna have to clean that up a bit. What's it called? White trim? Yeah. This should do it. Let's see. Yes, okay. So there's our tidyverse packages. And now it gets easier from here. All we have to do is filter our original set for these packages, and then we'll just sort it. Then do the same thing as before. Although we're gonna actually select it from up here. Now, does anybody want to guess which tidyverse package has the most lines of code before we run it? I'll run it, I just won't show it yet. Let's keep you all in suspense here. Okay, I have the answer. I'm gonna do the first guess. I think... Oh wait, what am I doing? This is lines of code, not number of imports. Oh, silly me. Okay. I totally goofed here. I was thinking about the number of imports, but I am curious. Let's do that first. Which tidyverse package imports the most? I'm going to say... The easy answer is dplyr, but I don't think it's that. I think that's too easy. But they consider the RStudio API package part of it? I'll go with tidyr, who knows. Okay. Just curious, let's see what it is. Let's see. Oh, I sorted the wrong order. Got the DESC. It's dbplyr with 17 imports. Wow. Or 17 dependency totals. Yep. Okay. And Google Sheets is right behind it. Okay, so that answers the imports question. I'll just put a comment there. That might be helpful for later. Okay, so now let's get to what we were originally going to do. So those variables were those LOC the LOC type of metrics. Let's run the app again and find out. Okay, so let's take a look here. I thought, oh, I must have skipped it. Let's go a little bit at a time. Lines of code are, I think that's what that one is. Let me look at the README. Okay, total number of lines in each subdirectory. Well, okay, well, if we consider just the R directory, which would be the easiest approach. Okay, we'll just go with that. This is easy to answer now that we know that. LC_R. Okay, so let's stop that. All right. So we will answer that question now. Yeah, 3, it's going to be the same filter, but then we're just going to select the LOCR instead. Capital R, of course. All right, so anybody want to guess about this one too? We saw that dbplyr had the most imports, but for the lines of code, if we're just talking about the R subdirectory, lines of R code, we're not counting C++ here. I'm gonna say Google Sheets. Isomore is guessing per. Let's find out. Oh, sorry, I didn't print it out. We're gonna clean up the function names later, or the object names. It's ggplot too. Oh wow, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Look at that, 17,614 lines of code. That is by far and away the winner in that metric. Compared to Erlang, which has 7,000, dplyr is third. So you were saying per, Isomore. Where is per on here? Let's see. Oh, per is right in this spot. About the 11th, maybe the 15th or so. I said it was Google Sheets for some reason. Whereas Google Sheets are... Oh, Google Sheets was near it. It was more than per. But Erlang does have that much code. Yeah, but see, this is why I love this data set. We can answer these kind of questions so well. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so this will be an easy one for a multiple choice because, sure, I'll throw ggplot2 in there, but I'm going to throw things like dplyr, like Erlang, and we'll see if that tricks people up. And Magritter, yeah, where was Magritter? That was the last one, 163 lines of code. That's a very small number. Haven. I'm surprised Haven is on this high because Haven wraps a C library to import SAS datasets or SPSS datasets. So it must do some other magic on top of that. Yeah, so Daniel, I think it's supposed to be lines in the .r file. It may be counting the roxygen comments. So let's take a look here, see if they tell us that. Hold on. Yeah, this may be counting all the lines, so it may not be quite as accurate. Although actually, we should look at these too, because this is saying number of blank lines in each subdirectory and total number of comments in each subdirectory. I should look at these. Let's look at these too and see how they play a role. We should look at that. Okay, what was the other one? Comment lines are... Alright. Now that, look how many lines of comments in the script. So that tells me it should not be counting that, because that's 12,000. There's no way that there would be only like, you know, 5-ish thousand of actual code, right? That seems like it's really overwhelmed. But this is ggplot 2. I guess anything can happen. Blank lines 3,074. May have to look at this a little bit, like yeah, we could look at the Magritta source code ourselves and double check. So it might be actual lines. It might be. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to look at some of these other ones too in relation to it. I mean, it's interesting. I need to see how... I think it's actual lines of code, because like I said, it'd be very odd that ggplot2 would have only 5,000-ish actual lines of code compared to comments, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're right. They're definitely not expected. ggplot2 is just amazingly large here. Yeah, let's look at Magritta. Let's pull that up here. So comment lines is 484, blank lines is 52, and actual R code is 163. So I think Isomor, yeah, that is saying that. And by the way, hello Yuka, I'm glad you can make it. I know you were taking a bit of a break, it sounded like. Hope you're getting relaxed and having fun. We're looking at package metrics round 2, where I don't blow my computer up in the process. We're having fun. The chat here has come up with about like 20-ish questions that we can do for trivia based on the packages on CRAN, and we're having fun looking at the lines of code for the Tidyverse right now. So lots of interesting insights that we did not expect. Which package has the most number of blank lines in gaming and padding their package complexity stats? That's, yeah, see, that's we could do that too. To the surprise of no one, it looks like ggplot2 is also the winner in the Tidyverse section for blank lines. And we all know that ggplot2 is one of the oldest packages in the Tidyverse, if not the oldest, because Hadley doesn't even count Plier in here. Is Plier in here? Plier shouldn't be in here, should it? Plier was the first generation of dplyr as we know it. That's not even in here, so ggplot2 is the elders statesperson of it, if you will. Is source being checked also? There is LOC source. Yeah, there is. Let's just, you know what? Let's just bring it up and see what that looks like in relation, because that's an important metric as well. Oh, error. What's the error? Oh, no, we got it. So ggplot2 has no C code, but rlang sure does. 6,600-ish. dplyr, of course, has some, but not nearly as much as the R code, which is interesting. Luberdate has almost just as much source C code as R code. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, this is interesting stuff. We might be able to do some. Oh look, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Haven has a ton of C code for its In fact, that might be the most of all this list here. Haven has the most source code. Yeah, by a wide margin. Like, everything else is not even close. That's interesting. That could be a trivia question right here. And that'll definitely resonate with the life sciences crowd, because we have to deal with SAS data sets every day. And then McGreeter has 447 lines of source code. Okay. That was cool stuff. I'm glad we're exploring this. Now let's see what other... Do we have other questions that have to do with like type of code? Let's see. Yeah, Yuka, yeah, these are... This is fun set. This is all the ones on CRAN. And we were looking at all the tidyverse in that section, so... let me see here. Anything we can answer just with the data we have currently. We could definitely do this with some simple string searching. We might try that. Actually, yeah, this is the one I want to tackle next, kind of to have a fun thing with this. Longest and shortest name. Yeah, we could do that. Let me put that in. Yep. Oh, Daniel has a good question. Do I have any packages in this data set? I'll tell you which one it is with the code here, but I don't know if it's still in here. It may have been archived. Oh my gosh, it's still here. That is crazy. I need to view this. Oh my, this is a trip down memory lane here. So it's been carried forward all this time, and I have not touched it in years. Years. I have 11 files in the ARG directory. It has no C code, no ints, no vignettes, no tests. Lines of code 904. Blank lines 171. Ooh, yeah, 322 lines of comments. No vignettes. Yeah, that's about it. I'll pull up the URL. The collaborator I worked on with this has done a whole different reimagination of this, independent of me. Yeah, the website's broken too. Oh, Nelly. Yep, the URL's dead. That's my contribution to CRAN, folks. Rest in peace. Okay, well, that was a... Oof. Memories. I made that in 2009 when I released it. My first year at work, actually. So, things have changed since then for lots of reasons. Okay. Let's see. Which one of these I want to tackle next? Can't do anything with the authors right now. F's in chat. Okay. Most R's, yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, I can go end there. All right. Okay, so we're going to do some string manipulation here, or string, fun stuff. Let's get our chunk in here. 3. All right, so So I think it's str length, right? I think this is the one I want. I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, Daniel, you are a wizard with the clips. I tell you what, I feel honored. Usually I'm not the one that's clipped. I appreciate that. All right, so let's see what we have here. We'll do the longest, and then we'll do the shortest after this. Oh my goodness. Look at these. We got a tie, folks. Sample size, logistic case control. Wow. That doesn't leave off for the imagination, does it? Then we have wyz.co.offensive programming. Intrigued for sure. Okay. And then we'll just... I'm lazy, I'm just going to do it again. And let's see what this does. Okay, we got a lot that are just 2 letters. A lot that are 2. And hey, Lucas streams 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the stream. Yes, this is R. I stream about R content, whether it's data explorations, application development with Shiny, and just having fun with it. So yeah, welcome. Hope you're enjoying it. So okay, so the shortest name, there's a lot of them. It looks like they just have 2 letters. Yeah, look at all these that have 2 letters. So that's not going to be very informative for that question, but the longest is certainly fun. So we got that for the most letters. Now about the yeah, how long is the longest package name? Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Yep. Okay. Cool. And then now let's search for the letters, the letter R, right? How many? And the package name. This should be a similar idea. Just gonna have to derive a variable for it. This should be, it's a string of count again. Okay, now I have to do some regex for this, right? Because it could be lowercase or uppercase. Oh, Nelly, me and regex. Okay. Don't laugh at me, because I'm not good at this. Upper or oh really? Oh, the pipe. Oh gosh, the old school pipe. Yeah, you're right. Ah. Okay. Okay, and then we can do. All right, let's give this a shot. Oops, got to print it out, of course. Oh, I want to. Oh, that's ugly. Let's select. There we go. It is. Oh, I gotta do it. What? What did I do? Oh, I. What? What did I screw up? Something's off here. It should not say there are 3, and the end letters are. Oh, I have to pass a comma. You're right. You're right. What am I doing? I knew it was something odd. Okay. Yeah, that should fix it. Okay. Okay, so the one that's in the lead is Tigray or Tiger Browser Writer. Hmm. And then we've got a package with 4 R's in the name. That's intriguing. What? Let's look that up. Oh, this is fun. This is the most like tidyverse kind of thing I've done probably in my streams ever. Is this data set? This is fun. That is hilarious. I'm thinking about it, but I just want to see. Now, this won't tell me what the package does, but you know what? They have a GitHub, folks. Let's look at the GitHub. Let's see. Okay, here we are. Robust, reduced, rank, regression. I'm sure it's important. Okay, well, it speaks to the roots of our academic type statistical research, right? But credit to them for putting it on GitHub at least. So, nice. I've heard of that one. I have heard of that one. I believe. Let me see what. Oh no, that's not on here. BR is not on here. Okay. Maybe it's different spelling. Huh. Okay, well let's search for this list here. Yeah, I don't see anything with the. Oh, we have a lot here. Okay. Deals with NAs. Oh, Batman. I have a funny story about that. At work, we have an internal package called Batman that does something completely different than what that Batman does. It's for Bayesian network meta-analysis. Say that 3 times fast. But that is, yeah, so I can't reveal too much more about it. I hope they open source it sometime. It's actually a cool thing that my team does over there. I'm not as involved with that part of the space. Okay, so we know we have a winner for the most letters of R in the package name. We've done the shortest and longest names. This one's I mean, I'm sure we could do it. I'm just not going to be able to knock it out pretty quickly here. I'm kind of intrigued by one of these other ones that has to do with what is the most compiled language that R wraps around? Oh, it's that package. Oh, okay. The one from Brooke Watson. Okay, I've heard of that. You're right. Yeah, the most compiled language is Yeah, the source folder would have it, but I don't know if it's gonna tell me what the compiled language is. Let's maybe look at the app one more time and take a look. Okay, let's see if it tells me that information anywhere here. Languages, there it is. Okay, we do have something here. So let's look at the unique values of languages in this data set. Let's see if there's any other columns we want to look at for that. Languages, that may be the only decent one. Okay, so we do have a path forward to know what the language is for that. Let's go back. Back here. This will be what I end with tonight, is this question. We never got the shiny again, unfortunately, but I don't know about you all, but I had tons of fun looking at all this with all of you. And you did the most important thing, is helping me figure out what we could ask about this data set, because I was kind of jumbled in my head of what I wanted to ask about. So, okay. This is definitely right up there, one of my most fun ones that I've done here, in the last few months especially. So, okay, let's look at... three, let's look at the language values. Languages, yep. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty well structured, although we have some NAs we'll have to deal with, but that's we can work around that. We can simply grab all the unique ones from this and then make like indicators of whether a package is a member of, or has, for all the packages that have compiled code, we just have to count or do an indicator if it has C, C++, Python, CUDA, CMake. Interesting. It looks like about it. So CMake, CUDA, Python, C++, C. That's about it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be C or C++, to be honest. But it's interesting, no package here on CRAN has Rust in it yet, because I know there has been some movement with Rust. So unless this data set's not quite correct, and yeah, Java, yeah, we're right. Where is Java here? So there must be something else going on with this. The fact that we don't have it here, there must be something. Yeah, so there must be a flaw in this, so we probably can't do anything with this unless we have cleaner data. Yeah, in fact, there's an easy way to check. We're going to filter for the package that has been the bane of my existence in my early part of the career. Our Java. And then let's see what this says. Okay. So it definitely shows up as files src. It has 39 lines there. 9,006. Yeah, you all called it our Java. That's the one that I ooh, Nightmares, absolute nightmares
Thank
from
you
my
for
old
the follow,
days. Oh, thank you for the follow, Alexei Shimanchuk. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, we got a little. Oh, look who's here! And Cedar Prince. Thank you for the raid, much appreciated. My alerts have gone haywire. You're being a night owl too, huh? We're exploring the package data set that I scraped yesterday and made my computer crash for earlier today, but we finally got it. And we're seeing about compiled languages right now. So where was the languages field? Did I miss it? Yeah, let's see. Well, look at that. It thinks it's C. So you may be right, Daniel. There's a good point. There are different levels of source where if you have a subdirectory, that can be a more specific language. So unfortunately, this package doesn't seem intricate enough to detect those. So that's so unless we get better data, unfortunately, we can't do that question. But you know, we gave it a shot. Okay, so let's see. Let's look back at our other questions here. I'm not going to shut it down in about 8 minutes, but let's see how far we get with some of these. We can't do anything with the contributors or authors because our data set doesn't have that. We did some stuff with lines earlier. Let's see. We've done the import of tidy models. What package other than Tidyverse has the most recursive dependencies? So that is something I need to solve later on because there's a function that the authors of this package, stats package, have that gives the calls to functions from other packages. That might help there. Or we have to like do the checking for each package its imports and kind of doing a reverse search there. I think there might be an easier way to tackle that than this data set. The documentation one's intriguing to me. I might look at that because we do have some metrics around documentation that we haven't explored yet. Let me save this before it goes nuts here. Oh, whoops, I forgot the... Okay. Alright, let's see, let's tackle this one last and then I'll call it a night. There were some values around documentation. Let's look at the... I thought they called it here. Maybe that was up here somewhere. Nope. Oh, equivalent mean and median numbers of documentation lines per function. Okay. So it's not quite the total lines. Well, I hope it will. I mean, I put the call out there to the rest of the organizers that I was interested in this, and they said, okay, you have at it. Let us know how it goes. So I'm going to give them a report back probably tomorrow in our Slack channel and say, hey, I had a fun exploration of this. I think we can pull it off. Then it's just a matter of how do I serve up the questions? Do I make an app to do it? Or do I do something else? Yeah, Cedar Prince, I made you a mod a while back when you were helping me out with some shenanigans that were happening in my early streaming days, so I kept you on. You've been a big help. So, okay, I mean, this is kind of a similar metric. It's looking at the mean and median of it. But let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna copy these values here for later. And just throw them in here real quick. And we'll go df3 package, and we'll just kind of take all these at once. It's a lot there. Let's just look at that first, get a feel for it. Oh, don't exist. Okay. Let's look at our list here. Doc lines per MN, MD, per FN not. We got that. Per par. Oh, that one's per par EXPMN. Okay, which one? Oh, doc lines per FN not XPM. Oh, that may have been it was a copy paste there. It should be MN. Okay, let's try that now. No? Wait, didn't I? Oh, that one didn't get it either. Okay. Okay. Just get a feel for this. Mean, median, doc lines per function. Doc lines per function not. What does that not mean? Doc cars, so characters. Okay, we don't really care about characters. Well, it's kind of a proxy, I guess. If we measure it by lines, then we can try that. Let's just try that. Arrange, ESC. Let's just see what this gives us. So tidy SEM wins this particular metric. Let's see what that was. It's bigger. 1091 documentation lines per function mean. The median's a little higher. Huh. But look at this one, key BOR. Look at the discrepancy between the mean and the median for the documentation lines per function. So maybe the median's a better thing to rank on. Let's just do that. See, I mean, the results should still be mostly the same. Okay, but now we got a different second place. So our tables. That's another life sciences inspired package for table generation. Wow, this is really coming full circle. Okay, I may have heard about some of these. Oh, R Commander. Wow, I remember that back in the day, if you will. Now the number of characters per parameter, is that what that means? It doesn't quite hold up in the same ranking as a number of lines do, so I might be able to do some with that later. But yeah, tidy SEM's the winner on that one. So it didn't compare it to the code ratio. which is something that we could calculate ourselves later on, but I think that's a good place to end it here, so that now what I've shown here is thanks to all of your help. Like, this is, I think it's only one over, I mean, you've always helped me, but this is one where I really relied on all of you to give me ideas, and you all came through with flying colors, if you will. We got a bunch of different things I can work on here, but now that I know that other than the author thing and maybe the shenanigans with the source directory, I can answer a lot of questions from this and make some fun, you know, random numbers from it, with the right answers, and maybe do some visualizations to maybe hide package names but show them like trends in certain ways. Unfortunately, there's another woe I have. Actually finish up my presentation for it. I'm actually going to repurpose an existing one. My one of my mentors at the day job is always telling me, don't feel shame in repurposing a talk if it was a good talk. So what I'm going to repurpose for my presentation is was about shiny, of course. What was this one here? I'm gonna make it look better, but I was talking about some of the awesome advancements in the shiny community versus, like, from resources perspective to new packages and just kind of newer ways of learning that I think can put you on a path to great success with bringing your shiny skills up to immensely higher levels. Yeah, I'm gonna spruce this up a little bit. I think I can reuse most of it, 'cause it's only a 10-minute talk, so it's even less amount of time than what I had for this Edinburgh user group meetup presentation. But I'll add a few more things that kind of tie in how I bring these into my daily work with developing production shiny in life sciences. I can't tell them everything I do, but I can at least share. Yeah, there's that app again, but I had fun with sharing it with this one. My conclusion kind of stunk, so I'm going to make that better. I love sharing again. Once you get the hang of it, it's really cool. It just takes a little bit getting used to. But... okay, cool. That'll be my next major thing once I get the social stuff sorted out. Yeah, Daniel and I were talking on Discord a little bit about Quarto, which seems to be the next generation of our Markdown compilation, amongst other things that our studio is spearheading. And they may have a preferred format for their slide generation. Reveal.js is used by a few people at my org and others that I saw in the online world. I still like sharing it because it's just got this kind of like geeky street cred to it of like design that I think is really fun to see. But it's an interesting space to watch. So okay, that'll be my next objective probably next week, is to tidy all that up and then think of questions for the panel that I'm going to lead at the end of the conference about scaling shiny in production. So I got some ideas, just have to put them on paper and send them to all the panelists probably next week. All right, we've been at it for a bit. I think I am going to yes, good point, West Buddha. The workshops are open. They're filling up. I am signed up for that one with John Kuhn and David Grandjean because there's no way I could pass up a workshop about advanced shiny with JavaScript. And I will also be hopefully looking at Richard Eon's GT workshop for making tables with R and GT. because that's getting a lot of attention in our industry right now, is the table generation. It can sound boring, but we're trying to modernize the heck out of it, so should be fun stuff. All right, well, you see how to find me and various things like Twitter and the YouTube channel and the podcast. And yeah, I got homework to do, but I feel inspired, I feel more motivated now that I got this data set finally crunched. Got the CRAN mirror rsync to my network storage without blowing that up. I resurrected my streaming box from a mere blow up this afternoon. And I tried to get too greedy with the processing, and now we're in good shape. Yeah, okay, I'm glad. Yeah, we'll probably see each other there virtually for Richard's workshop with GT. Looking forward to it. All right, well, I'm going to sign off now, get some shut-eye. As usual, I gotta cook breakfast for the little ones early in the morning. And tidy up some stuff before the weekend. So you all have a great night. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for the raids from Jesse and Nick. That was completely unexpected, but very welcome. And if you like what you see, definitely keep in touch. Give us a shout on the Discord. If you haven't already, I think most of you, a lot of you are on there, but I'll just... Oh, thank you, RWX Rob. Oh, that's very kind of you. Give a shout out on the Discord if you want to join us there. And definitely give me ideas for how we can make the stream better. I'm always continuous improvement, as I say. All right, have a good night. Time for me to hit the sack. So we will see you all virtually later. Bye, everybody.